Hello, Gunner James 105. So this video is concerning items that I've picked up over the last couple of months. I've been wanting to do sort of a parade of items that I had found at the big gun show in Calgary, Alberta a couple of weeks ago. Some items that I picked up from an antique store, eBay, and so these items I will kind of skim through. They don't need a lot of detail in a video of their own at this point. But the first item, the reason that I was looking for one of these is because my old sergeant I had asked him actually if he could find me a projectile for a 105 howitzer, because I've got a few shell casings and that's what I used to fire back in the 80s. This here now, the reason that I have picked this up is because he tells me that he's got a 25 pounder projectile. And so I had, I've got it in another room. There was another item I won't show you right now, but it has the, it's a metal ammo box for the 25 pounder. I fit a couple of these in there. This one's got a little ding in it. Yeah, but that's okay. And then this here is a little rough, but I think once I get that projectile, and I might try and take that little dent out. I'm not sure, but what I like about this one is its markings, and this is a 1941. So this one was reasonably priced, and I'm set and ready for that. I haven't picked up that projectile yet, but 25 pounder shell casing. And then there was this here, which was quite interesting. And so this is the way I bought it. This basically is the weights that would go into your pant legs, lower just above the puttees. And so they're apparently very rare. I've never seen any before. Now the color being white, that's lead that's oxidized, and the way that these are put together, that's a cloth, almost like a shoelace material, and there's kind of a lead band that there's cloth kind of wrapped in between on those, so that would help to really blouse the bottom of that of one's trousers. You'd use that on parade. You wouldn't necessarily use it for anything else. You can see that cloth there, the way it's wrapped in amongst that lead. So I tried to I soaked them in vinegar for a little bit, thinking I might be able to get some of that oxidization off of there, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. So I don't know, I might try again. So I have that, and along the same this was at an antique store, so that with this sale at the antique store also came with a couple of these, and these are the 9-foot puttees, and this one happens to have this marking on it. Looks like felt pen. Now this one, there's the way it's rolled is that actually the lacing is on the inside. So you'd actually want to have it rolled this way so you could start wrapping and then end up with the laces ready to tie it off. So those are the 9-foot, real nice original puttees as compared to these I've got from quite a while ago. These are 3-footers. So they're certainly not going to do the same job as this here. And then another item was this canteen. So this would be a British canteen. And looking inside, I mean, I don't think this thing has ever been used. That's as clean as can be inside, and I haven't touched it, but it's very, very clean. And so it's got inside, there's the nice clear markings, if I can get that. So that's marked as 1943. And we got a nice little broad arrow here. So that was a nice little item. Looks like we've got a little bit of a sweat off someone's rear end where this hung, but so that would hang to the inside. But a very nice condition canteen. It'll go on my webbing for the British uniform that I have. And just picked up a bunch of these here. Now this is for the 6.5 by 50. Oh my goodness, I can't. I'll tell you what it is. It's a 6.5. So I have a in the collection a AG-42B Youngman rifle, and I had picked this up at a gun show last year. So this is the ammunition for that. And what I wanted to get a hold of were some of these chargers or clips. So that was what I picked up just recently from the retail store, the same place I got the Sten Gun magazine loader. And so that was another nice item. And just picked up also a box of this ammunition, I believe. Well, I can't remember now. I did look this up. I don't know if it's Czechoslovakian or what it is, but so this is gonna work in the Kar 98K Mauser. So that's your 8mm surplus ammunition. And I don't have much of this, so I'm trying to pick it up wherever I can, here and there. A box like this is 15 bucks, so 15 rounds, 15, buck a round. Not too bad. And then this interesting little flask, and I'm not sure. I tried to find information on this. So it's a leather wrapped over a glass bottle, so that's actual glass with a metal cap. So this would be an officer's flask, and more than likely, I think Second World War, and it could have been British, could have been German, I'm not sure. There's certainly no markings anywhere to tell me anything about this, but that was another nice little item with a level indicator. So when it gets down here, then you start to panic. See, because that would be good. The one of the things that's kind of a nice thing with the home front and World War II home front type thing. This one happens to be a ration book. This is ration book 3, issued to this gentleman in Saskatchewan, Canada. And so it still has a lot of its coupons with French and English in there. And there's information regarding its use. So, nice little ration book. Then, I don't know, just recently, because I'd been watching the Colditz series again with my wife. My wife and I love the old 72 to 74, I think it was, Colditz television show, and just watching the prisoners try to get a hold of these marks, so that if they escape prison, they would have some money. And so these are from the period of the Second World War. Reichsmarks. So picked up a few of those, and that was an eBay purchase, but just thought we actually have the board game as well. Only played it a couple times, but there's a pretty incredible board game, Colditz Escape from Colditz board game. So there's that. And this here is quite nice for the little display case I have. This is a Canadian Army Soldier Service Paybook, very interesting to read because it's got information in here on this soldier, and this is dated 1942. So we've got this thing filled in, so it's not just a blank little book. It's pretty nice, and yeah. So we have that there with a date in 1943, and also included with this book is this separate piece of paper. So this is kind of a ledger, and showing from 42, 43, 44, and 45, and it's pay, and I'd have to go through this: clothing allowance, gratuity, rehabilitation grant. So pretty nice little extra piece inside that book. So another nice little item. The this here was just from a local antique store. So wartime recipes and food rolls, and so this is right from the province that I live in. So that's right out of Edmonton, Alberta, and so these are wartime recipes and talking about nutrition and making do with what you have. So might try some of these. Might try and see what these are like. So, and that's from the Woodland Dairy Limited that put this out with the V for victory. So got that, and this book here, and I have a quite an interest too, as far as you have the military aspect, and then you have the home front, and this type of thing interests me as well. And so this book here, if you can see, $10, and so yeah, $10. So it's full of information that was compiled with stories and pictures from the time. So I've yet to read this, but I think it's going to be pretty interesting. So pretty happy to have that, and certainly the price is right. So that little item there. Just last weekend, happened to stop in at a surplus store in Edmonton. Always was interested in hats and caps, and didn't have one of these in the collection. So this one here would be the U.S. Navy, and so we've got it named with perhaps a serial number or whatever, or unit number, but this is an original U.S. Navy. I have no idea what era. I mean, it could be, I don't know what years they used these, but I know that my uncle had this when he was in Vietnam. So got that, and that was $10. Not bad. Little container here that's Canadian. So this is post-war, I believe, but that's your cleaner for all military web equipment. And so this is the IT company, and there's still some dried contents or whatever, but yeah, shake well. Have to shake this really well. So we have that. And of course, you've got the price of that, 25 cents. But just a nice little item again for the military collection. You know it's old when it doesn't have a barcode, and actually this container doesn't have any French on it either. It's all in English, so you know it's old. And so then a couple more things. There's a couple of books. This one here, The cover, I've seen them in better condition, but certainly a lot more money. So this was not too bad. It was about $20, and it's a very nice book. It's going through with everything you need to know about drill and that part of it. It also goes into physical fitness and the rifles. You've got some colored pictures there on the Enfield. That'd be the number 1 Mark III. And so, yeah, it's something that could be some good reading again. There's a lot of information here. It's a little bayonet drill, and so the training pamphlet for the Canadian Army, and this one dated 1940. A little bit of writing on there from, I think that's the person's outfit and his name. So that's quite nice. And then the last item is this here, which my mother had come across in some of the stuff she had at home in a box. I think an uncle gave it to her. And so this one is your aircraft recognition, and 25 cents. But this is because they revised these, but this one here has the so it would have been a D Knight from and his rank was aircraftman first class, 111th Squadron, so in Vancouver, BC. And so it's also what do we got here? So this one here would be 1943, and so it's going to give you all the methods of identifying planes, and they go into engine sounds, being able to recognize an aircraft by its sound, or certainly its outline. And they go through both Allied and enemy aircraft. So quite a nice little book. And again, something I don't know if in the back here he's crossed out different names of planes, so maybe that's the ones he's been able to identify. I'm not sure, hard to say, but in pencil we've got certain ones that have been crossed out. So there are the items of the last couple of months of collecting. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.